DCW, or mostly pronounced东城卫, it's an idol band that feels a little ashamed to say it. And I know there's lots of indie Taiwanese rock bands are more worth to talk about, but honestly, I just can't skip it. This fatty chuck, the best rock and roll YouTuber you will see in the next 10 years. Let's talk shit about this shitty band and their former vocal, R-Chord, today. If you watched my first video on this channel, that was as cringe as fuck. Wonky Rock let me crush on rock and roll and realize that I love rock and roll for my whole fucking life. But actually, my first taste of rock and roll wasn't even from them. It was from this TV scene. DCW appeared in episode 2 of the X family, performing In the Love. This song was also released for the first time, tying together the whole series. Show the lead guitarist play the killer solo and special falsetto and vocal emphasis by R-Chord. I believe this scene shocked a lot of kids and showed them how cool rock and roll bands could be. Before we start to talk shit of this band, and in case you don't know X-Series, it's an Taiwanese Mandarin drama since 2005 to promote the boy band Fahrenheit. They were not successful as BTS for sure, but they were really big in the Mandarin places around 2000s. And we will focus on the first series of X-Series, K.O.3an, X-Family, and K.O.3an Guo. I'll call them X-Class, the automated class, X-Family, and X, the Three Kingdoms. Maybe it's a little disrespect to the scriptwriter. I think it makes more sense in English for international people. And this is Wang Dongchen, the guitar hero of Taiwan. We mostly call him the name in the X-Class, Wang Dadong. He's the male lead. It's a story about some high school students called X-Power and fighting bad guys. Before Wang Dongchen joined Fahrenheit, he was the vocalist of a rock band at his actual high school in real life. I think the screenwriter thought, oh, his rock band is pretty cool, so they brought his bandmates into the show and renamed this rock band Dong Wei. That means the guardians of Wang Dongchen, and it truly helps their former member through the X series. I have to admit, I only watched a bit of the Ultimate Class as a kid. DCW made their debut in episode 25 of the Ultimate Class. Unlike the main characters who have weapons like Dragon Tattoo Pan, Sword in the Stone, and Power Left Fist, DCW plays guitars and drums to heal the main characters with low-cost effects. Watching those shits flying around feels so cringy after I grew up. But Show played a very serious guitar solo, and Dadong got back in the band. They covered the self-titled theme song of the Automated Class in a full rock and roll version in the drama. It definitely felt cool for kids and teenagers back in 2000s. And here comes X-Family in 2007. The second season of X-Series is actually the one I crush on. Sit in front of the TV every week waiting for the premieres. So in the end of the Automated Class, all the main characters lose their X powers while fighting against the final boss, the Black Dragon. DCW tries to heal them by performing the self-titled song of the Automated Class again, but it was not fucking working anymore. So Show steps up as a key player to help them and reveals who really is. There's actually 12 spacetimes. Good and bad guys use X power to fight in each other. The story of the Automated Class happens in the Gold spacetime. Show is from the Iron spacetime, and his band DCW is the guardian of the Iron spacetime. That immediately makes the X-Series universe feel so big. So Show returns to the Iron spacetime and starts the story of X-Family. I think the reason why X-Family is so cool is because rock and roll shits run through the whole season, like the Melody Summer, Dadong's alternate self in the Iron spacetime, who's a high school nerd who wants to buy an electric guitar and he's a fan of DCW. His X-Power weapon code goes Dragon Guitar Pick and plays a guitar to fight the final boss, and his girlfriend used drumsticks for weapon. Lots of outfits, makeup, and fancy hairstyle looks rock and roll in this season. They even start shouting out the move in this season, like Thunder Lightning Ula Baha or Freeze Ula Baha. It's still so fucking cringe. But most importantly, the rock music becomes X-Power and drives the plot forward. Summer finally joins DCW in the drama. In the Love also became the anthem of Taiwan for a long time, and it's still a must in karaoke in Taiwan. I even bought the soundtrack of X Family and play it on a CD player and play X Online so many times. Then X the Three Kingdoms starts in 2009. Romance of the Three Kingdoms is a novel pretty popular in Asian Asia. There are some video games and dramas influenced by it today you might know, like Dynasty Warriors on PlayStation. So the Seal of Space Sign set the time backing around 80-100. I think the main reason why Season 3 was also successful, especially after Fahrenheit quit the show. They wanted the show to be a supporting character again at first, but quickly changed their minds and made him the male lead. Keep helping friends with his X-Power through the guitar. More music by DCW released throughout this season. They joined the opening song, with Show doing a super cringy solo battle in the music video. And the War with War is another classic song with R-Chord sings, healing his teammates like he did in X-Class again. The song also became the opening song after episode 37. Then there's a girl I really have to mention. She's Zhen Pei-ci. I always call her by her name in the X the Three Kingdoms, Ah-Xiang. She got 6th place on 1 Million Star, Taiwan's version of American Idol. It was definitely a good decision by the film crew that let a professional singer be the female lead, because they also let her become the new frontman of DCW and make a second version of Inner Love, turning this important song into the season's ending song. When I was even smaller, I always imagined the songs were sung by the male lead or female lead, because most of the lyrics tell how the character think, but of course most of them were not. X-Series did it. No matter Da-Dong in season 1 or Ah-Xiang and Show with a new guitar solo for the song this time. No music, no X-Series. Or even no rock and roll, no X-Series. But honestly, I think the outfits and plot weren't as rock and roll as X Family. So I want to focus on their live performance at signing events. You may see Show's guitar really got shit. And Ah-Xiang has become a very successful pop singer in Mandarin-speaking regions these years. But I still think rock and roll is the best version of her. She's my only rock shiro when I was small. She's so hot and cute at the same time, especially in the black leather, strapless dress, and short haircut. Although many female rockers replaced her in my heart after I grew up, like Avril Lavigne, Tracy Contenza from Against the Current, Hayley Williams from Paramore, Lisa, and of course Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless. Check out Taylor's Instagram post, that's so fucking hot. But no matter what, Ah-Xiang will always hold a place in my heart, and she'll always be the front woman of DCW. For me, X-Series ended here. I know there are 10 seasons right now, but it's like Boruto to Naruto fans since season 4. I knew DCW were still showed up in the plot, but the outfit, especially the hairstyle, aren't that fancy and rocky anymore. And I just found out they even kill off Summer in season 6 without showing details of final battle. It feels like killing Joe in The Last of Us 2. Summer and the Ghost Dragon were the rock icons when I was a kid, and we will never see him again, I guess. But the first 3 classic seasons really did a great job of standing out from other idol dramas in Taiwan. Not only telling love stories, space times, good and bad guys, demons, special powers, weapons explaining, brotherhoods, and cringe lines. And of course, making rock music be a part of the plot. Let's talk about all the rock music made by DCW. They let Jie, the rhythm guitarist, and Show's brother, become their new vocalist after Ah-Xiang, but they only have 2 albums actually and renamed the band Red Generation to be more focused on music and not just on the drama. I would say vocal of Jie is kinda hard rock. I know it's hard to be as good as Axl Rose from Guns N' Roses, Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, Brian Johnson from AC/DC, or those amazing 80s vocalists, but just high notes are kinda strong and sharp, but a little bit too sharp. Show's guitar is still fucking amazing even though I was never a fan of his shitty rapping. And the vibe is even heavier in Red Generation, but without the drama, I have to say, it's really not that popular anymore. I'll sing on the the day you laugh at karaoke, even though it's actually too hard for me. But now, I enjoy amazing vocals like Classic Tucker from 1OK Rock, Danny Worsno from X in Alexandria, or Alex Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon, and all the music based on punk and post-hardcore. Okay, now we can finally talk about what people really care about. Why Inner Love is so important, so classic, and all the drama and the beef around it. The song really connects the season throughout the X-Series. The lyrics by R-Chord are so cool. I travel through Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Saturn to search you in the time tick-tock. This part before verse 1 is a must sing if you're an X-Series fan. And there's a line in the verse that says, I've never been a cow in your spacetime. And the chorus, the me who loves you, is an inversion shared in Mandarin, which makes this song so special. The confession during the interlude, do you hear that? I sing this song for you, proving that I exist for you, is another part that needs to be mentioned. Shows crazy guitar run throughout the whole song. Then R-Chord keeps repeating the me who loves you and sings the planet part again to end the song. The whole song is about the love that crosses the space-time, just like Xiu and A-Xiang in the Three Kingdoms. So of course, it's the theme song of the X-Series forever. And let's be real and straight to the point. The first season song by R-Chord is the best, but that doesn't mean I stand on R-Chord's side or any side in the beef. Let's give a quick overview of the beef between Xiu and R-Chord. There are 3 parts in this song that need to be mentioned. The arrangement is by DCW and the lyrics are by R-Chord. These 2 parts are pretty clear, but they both claim they're the only composer. In case you don't know, arrangement refers the instruments and harmony part, and composer here is about the lead vocal melody. It was pretty surprised to hear R-Chord say this after so many years, cause I think all the fans thought Xiu is a composer. You can still see this information on their official YouTube channel. It's the same information we saw on TV in 2007. After the trial, Xiu is still the only composer. R-Chord had no evidence to overturn it. Okay, here comes the part I'm really curious about. Where's the song? Where's the fucking song? If the copyright is pretty clear now, then why can't I find any official version on any platform? I know Xiu's fan will support A-Xiang or Jie's version. R-Chord's fan will support the 2.0 version that released in 2020, which started the beef. I know A-Xiang's version is pretty meaningful. The love story between them in the show really brought the lyrics to life. The 2.0 version by R-Chord brings back his vocal style, but it's kinda too soft for me. So, come on, we all fucking missed the very first version. DCW needs R-Chord's special vocal skill. R-Chord needs DCW and shows amazing guitar solo, especially the one from the very first version. It's irreplaceable forever. And R-Chord even said on his YouTube channel that he didn't get paid on the lyrics part over these 17 years. What the actual fuck is going on? No matter what, please release the original studio version on Spotify, KKBox, Apple Music, or YouTube. I don't know who owns this shit now, who doesn't want to release it, or are there any copyright issues that we still don't know about? Please, cause that's the childhood memories that we all share. Oh, we also cannot sing the original version in karaoke. I know we can request A-Xiang's version and lower the key down, but I also don't know why there's no official music video available. You can find the official music video on the director's YouTube channel, but I'm so curious about why it cannot be shown in karaoke. Maybe it's another copyright issue. In 2024, the 5th version was released during the New Year's Eve show there in China. It's so cool to see Summer sing Inner Love for the first time with Xiu, but that reminds me how the X-Series moved to China. Not only the politics problems, but also the vibe changes too fucking much. X-Series is not X-Series anymore. Now, let's answer the title question. Is R-Chord R-Chord pretty rock and roll. Let's be honest, he's a good metal pop singer after he stopped filming X-Series. I don't know why he changed English name from R-Chord to R-Chord, but it sounds actually the same in Mandarin, and most of the people call him 谢和弦 now. He's truly made lots of successful pop music, but his music are not rock and roll. His fans might say, oh, love doesn't need to pretend. Snow Red, hasn't your mom even told you that? Are so rock and heavy. First of all, just because a band has guitars, bass, and drums behind the singer doesn't mean it's rock and roll. Most of them are soft shits in Taiwan, and I still think you should build an actual band. I do enjoy some Youngblood's music, and of course Avril Lavigne. They're pretty pop punk, but most of the time, R-Chord performs without a band, and even when he does, metal pop fans just don't care about that shit. They only care about the vocal and the singer. That is not rock and roll. Actually, I do know R-Chord has a band called Sea Level, and they make his classic pop songs sound better in live performance. Speaking of Sea Level, I have to mention a song called Shepherdman. I noticed the song when the official music video came out 4 years ago. It's pretty cool. The music video shows Taiwan police work pretty hard every day, and at the end of the music video, R-Chord shows some respect of them. Actually, rockers, or more precisely, punkers, have always been against the police in history, but everyone knows R-Chord was talk shits about what Hong Kong police did in 2019 through this music video, making it seem like Taiwan's police are better than Hong Kong's. Yeah, most of Taiwan police are kind and work hard, but there were police hurting students in Sunflower movement. We still haven't been punished. That's a shit that cannot be forgotten. Then I found out Shepherdman was actually an old song by R-Chord, and Sea Level's version was much better than the music video. R-Chord headbands a lot and ends the song with screaming vocals. Unfortunately, the music clips of Sea Level are from 13 or 14 years ago and recorded by fans. The sound and video quality are horrible. I would go to the live show if R-Chord brings Sea Level back, but just for the song. And if we're talking about Hong Kong police and R-Chord streaming vocal, he has a song called Motherfucker. Actually, I feel pretty cringe at first because it keeps fucking mother's pussy in the chorus. He says he'll break your head with music, and he doesn't know shit about civilization, and he only did 30 words. Then I finally realized this part is R-Chord talk shit about Hong Kong police, but I still think City of Sadness of Fire X is the best song to support Hong Kong people. You can check out the video I made for Fire X and Hong Kong. I will always stand with Hong Kong. Oh, and a quick mention of a song called Rock Isn't Dead by R-Chord, which features a lot of singer. Most parts are shit, but there is a vocalist called Ai Weilun. He has a band called The Angel Without Wings that's pretty goddamn good. Lots of headbanging and breakdown, but most importantly, he has a super beautiful, clean vocal that reminds me of Asking Alexandria, but there's very little information about them on internet. I hope someone can tell me more and that I can see their live show someday. So again, is R-Chord pretty rock and roll? His music is not pretty rock and roll for sure, but after so many years, people became more and more dislike him. I keep thinking a lot these days. All the shit he's done are pretty rock and roll. He's a rocker without music. I know people were always talking about he cheated on his ex-wife, did a live stream in a hotel with his current wife before her divorced. He took cannabis in Taiwan and been thrown into jail twice. Losing control, showed his bipolar disorder in front of the media. All this shit have made him the most disliked celebrity in the past 10 years. But actually, these are rock and roll. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean, oh, that's so cool. R-Chord is like some badass rocker in Western countries, biting a bat's head off or accidentally kill a fan with push him down the stage. Let's do some badass shit like them. No, absolutely not. I'm talking about how he taught us a lot through his shitty mistakes. He was fighting a lot of issues in a very rock and roll way. He fought against the situation in his relationship. He let us focus on mental issues, and he fucked Hong Kong police. These are the shits that I will keep talking on this channel. How teenagers face their relationship. I just called for Taiwan needs cannabis and talked about mental issue in my last video. His stance is much more rock and roll than other rock icons from our childhood, but sometimes it's hard to know what the fuck was he thinking about. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of R-Chord's behavior, but I will keep thinking about how can I be more aggressive and stay composed at the same time in those situations. How can I be a better version of R-Chord if I get a chance to be a celebrity and have the power to change the public opinions? How to protect Taiwan with rock and roll spirit and music. 17 years have passed since I noticed DCW. Lots of shits have changed. Some childhood heroes are not Taiwanese and rockers anymore. Some became troublemakers. Show is now using the name Chen De Show, released some shitty pop music. R-Chord is now a dad of 2 daughters and also making shitty pop music for his kids. And so did I. I met Wonka Rock 10 years ago. I used to think screaming vocals and heavy clean vocals were everything. I even think Linkin Park and Green Day were too soft, but now I'm a huge fan of them. So I have been through all these taste changes and make sure what's my rock and roll now. DCW is kind of piece of shit now, including Enough Love, especially when I just came back from the Wonka Rock 2024 Premonition World Tour in Taiwan. I really think I need to stay strong on my standing of what is rock and roll and keep talking shit about that shitty band that also performed it on September 21st. I even said Cry Out by Wonka Rock is a fucking bitch, and why I'm not a new Wonka Rock fan anymore in my first video. You may go check it out why, and I'll try my best to upload my thoughts of the Wonka Rock concert. You may subscribe first that if you're a Wonka Rocker. So I'm no more a DCW fan now, but in part of my heart, I still hope DCW will be back and do live shows someday. Music festivals are now getting better and better in Taiwan. Show this said in a YouTube interview so that they will think about regroup DCW at a music festival. That the X-Series fan will be so excited. And it's 20th anniversary of the X-Series next year. So you better think about it. You're not gonna leave the money on the table, aren't you? Make sure you let R-Chord back in DCW and let him be R-Chord again. And of course Summer and Ah-Shang can also be the frontman on stage again, no matter it's Megapore, Vagabond or Fireball. I promise I will be there. Just don't let Dadong do a guitar solo. And talk a little about the future of dramas in Taiwan. I majored in filmmaking back in college, though I was pretty lazy how I even graduate, and I always care more about rock and roll than filmmaking. But I still want to see our Taiwan's film industry getting better and better. And I hope there's another successful rock series in next 20 years that really helps Taiwan. Rise Up Taiwan is a series of my channel, different from the main series. It's a series that gives myself a chance to learn and talk shit about Taiwan's rock bands. So please subscribe if you are a band listener. DCW is not a rock music that I enjoy now, but it still needs to be shown on my channel. It's my childhood, and I'm glad if we share the same memories. I'll talk about a band that R-Chord introduced to Taiwan music before he fucked up. Is that band really trash and making pop shits, or actually they are true rockers? I'm nervous cause if you fuck them, it's like against every hot chicks in Taiwan, but I'll still talk my true thoughts of them. And I've also been listening to rock for almost 10 years now. I definitely can talk shit of them, and I promise I'll talk about some indie rock band after this trash band. But before that, I'm gonna work on my thoughts Wonka Rock's concert, and I'm so excited that I'm really joining a Fireball Festival this year and enjoy my first Fire X live show. That's all for today. Now I'm going to remember the lyrics of Fire X, Man with a Mission, and R-Chord, because my Taiwanese and Japanese are so poor. So see you guys Fireball Festival. I might be wearing Wonka Rock's towers and wristband. You may say hi to me, and see you guys if the real DCW regroup next year. Rise up Taiwan, and as always, stay rock, stay peace.